Peace, Jaguar fam. This is Left Side of the Brain. Coming once again. Hey, I just turned my head over my shoulder, right? And it was this girl. She was looking at me. And then I looked at her. And then she turned her head. And then I turned my head over my shoulder again. And then she looking back at me and looked down again. And that's kind of what the topic of today's discussion is about. And I like to say yesterday we had some technical difficulties. I know, and I like to thank everybody who showed up to the live stream. You already know it's not my fault, but regardless, I like to apologize for the technical difficulties. It's something that just happened, and I know everybody was expecting the live stream. I was very pissed off yesterday. I could have did it from my mobile device, but I didn't want to do it like that because I promised that we would have the live stream. The hotline. So I didn't want to do it like without a call-in number. I'd rather do it with the hotline so we can do it the right way. And so I'm in the process of rescheduling right now. I gotta find out what's actually wrong with the device. I took it to Geek Squad today. They couldn't find anything. And I don't know. During the live stream, people was trying to help me out, but nothing worked. Maybe it's YouTube trying to sabotage the mission, who knows? But nothing is going to stop what is destined to be. So we're going to keep the program going. Anyway, today's topic, I wanted to talk about mind games and other social conditioning that takes place throughout our existence. For instance, people, they look at you like I'm walking right now, and two women that they just looked at me, but they don't say anything. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and it's not just women, it's men. But sometimes, women will look at you, they won't say nothing. They'll look and turn their head. And case in point, I did a live stream today. And this is why y'all have to add me on Instagram, because you miss out on a lot of live streams that I do. I don't even announce it. It's just for the people on Instagram. And you miss a lot of good things, because I was in Best Buy today, right? And I was live streaming, and I caught all of this on the live stream on Instagram. It's still up there because I shared it for 24 hours. But anyway, I was in Best Buy, and the computer geek guy, he was helping me, running a diagnostic test on my computer. So then he tells me, he says, sir, you are filming. I said, no, I'm doing a live stream. He said, oh, okay, because my manager said that he wanted to know what you were doing. And it was funny to me. And I said to him, I said, you see all of these black camera domes in the ceiling? I said, you all are recording me, so why can't I do a live stream? But they didn't make me stop doing it. And when I had said that, the man, he just started laughing because it made so much rational sense what I said. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show, man, that, like I said to the gentleman who was helping me out, well, he could have been in an organic portal. Most likely he was. I don't even give these people the benefit of doubt. We've been stopped doing that. So I gotta follow my own teachings, So it just goes to show, like I told him, man, I said, people will be saying stuff about you. And I told him, I said, if the manager has a problem with me recording, I said, they got cameras looking at me right now. I said, even you looking at me is recording me in your mind. So what difference does it make? You see? And here's the thing. It wasn't the fact that I was recording that made him question it. It was because I was doing it. I'm gonna repeat. It wasn't the fact that I was recording that made him question it. It was because I was doing it. You just said the same thing twice, left side of the brain. That don't make sense. This is why I say that. It's not because I was recording, but because I was recording. The deep people catch on to what I'm saying. It's because they know that I am a united soul. That's why he made an issue about it. It wasn't because it was me holding the live stream. He didn't know what I was doing. You see what I'm saying? He just had to find a reason as to intimidate me. He had to find a reason to intimidate me. Because here's the thing. They can't let you be. This is not heaven where we live in. So they can't let you be. I was minding my business. So he had to find some reason to come inside the personal space of left side of the brain. He had to find a reason. You see? Because they just can't let you be. They got to find a reason to mess with you. Because when you are at peace and at ease, then it troubles them. It troubles them. Okay, I had to get quiet because this guy right there, out of nowhere, he just sat. See, I'm sitting on this bench. I'm sitting on this bench right here. And that random person, he just sat and he started tying his shoes. Okay, a simple-minded person would say, oh, you taking everything too serious, and that's just a coincidence. What did I tell y'all about? You should know by now, if you've been watching my videos and keeping up with all of the footage, we got countless videos with synchronicities all throughout the video. So no, I'm not buying those excuses. Everything that takes place in this world, it happens for a reason, because we are in spiritual battle. That's why I say secret wars. The secret war is us versus them. The secret war takes place in your individual life. It just takes place on a grand scale. It's happening to all of us with souls simultaneously. And that's why when we come together on these live streams and in the comment section of these videos, we discuss our different spiritual conflicts that takes place in our lives. You see, now when you looking at the news and you see the headlines and America about to go to war with North Korea, see, that's the diversion. That's the diversion warfare to make you think that this warfare doesn't exist. The real warfare is us versus them. Because if North Korea and America was not at odds with each other, are you saying spiritual battle would be, the enemy gonna raise a white flag and they gonna stop messing with us? No. So what does that mean? This war that we are engaged in is 24/7 around the clock. So don't ever take anything for granted that happens to you, because it's happening for a reason. And everything is a mind game. Every time I talk to a person, I realize that it's a mind game. And I'm gonna tell you something else. You see that person? Don't even take for granted when a person passes you. You see the girl with the pink pants on, and she passed in front of me, like these women right here. They look. Every time, I'm trying to tell you, every time a person passes you, every time a person look at you, 9 times out of 10, it's not with good intentions. Because you got to understand something about the nature of people. People themselves, they harbor a lot of negative energy. So when they passing you and they look at you, 9 times out of 10, they passing the negative feelings that they have, and when they look at you, they casting it upon you. So basically, whatever spirit they have on them, whether depression, they going through something, they having a relationship problem, when they look at you, they casting their feelings and they dumping it over into you. And then after you walk past them, you start feeling like something didn't feel right. You see what I'm saying? Because basically, they just passing germs, basically. And when you enter their presence, you feel uneasy for a moment, and then it takes a while for you to come back to yourself. You might have to walk outside or whatever to cleanse yourself from all of the negative energy that you pick up, you see. And this is very, very true when you think differently. Now, if you think like them, it's not going to be a problem. But when you think like me, see, this is one of the dangers of looking at these videos. Because when you think like me, your eyes open up. And when your eyes open up, you can never go back to being the same. And once your eyes are open up, they automatically are going to start to zoom in on you. Because human prison bars, they are like security cameras. And once you create a different color, see, they got like, you ever seen them heat sensor cameras? This is what those people see when they look at you. And when your mind is awakened, they can look at you and your colors look different to them. I'm telling y'all, this is how this thing operates. When they look at you, your colors look different. And this is what happens. Notice when you was ignorant about stuff, certain things didn't bother you. You could go certain places, it didn't bother you. But as soon as your mind began to develop spiritually and your eyes started opening up, then you realize just how different you really are. You realize just how different you really are. When your eyes open up, you realize, wow, I am really the minority. I'm really you see, they would say I'm a minority based upon race. But even within my race, I'm still a minority. If you have a soul, it don't matter what race you have, because you're going to be an outcast regardless. Because you go against the system. And you don't even have to be doing anything to go against the system. Like the story I gave you earlier. I was minding my business, and a manager, and they had these things in their ear, right? You know how they have those microphones, and they have their little button, and they can talk to each other. So basically, What happened to me today, that's a metaphor of how each one of these human prison bars, they have a bug. Each one of them, they have a bug in their ear against people like us. So if you're doing something telepathically, they spread the message. You see, all communication is not verbalized. We use telepathy every day. So if somebody want to gossip, they can use their eyes to do it. They can roll their eyes. Only thing it takes is a simple glance. Somebody can glance at another person and give them that look. And the next person, they can nod in agreement. I'm gonna use myself for an example. They can look at me and look at another person, roll their eyes and laugh. What they did, they just communicated telepathically with facial gestures and, you know, the stare that they give each other. I can prove what I'm saying. Have you ever heard of the look of love? I've been with girls sometimes and you just know it. You ever been out on a date with a girl and you start out talking and everything, and then you just lock eyes with her, she locks eyes with you, and then that look initiates love making. It's the same thing. That's why I don't be staring at these people like that. And I don't even like looking at people's eyes, to be honest with you. I recommend you wear dark shades. Another thing I recommend is walking around with headphones. Even what I'm doing right now is like mosquito spray, because people see me, like people walking by right now, but it's the simple fact that I'm doing something. I'm occupied, and that's creating a shield. You see what I'm saying? Because a random person walking by right now, they might not be doing nothing. So they looking at me saying to themselves, he's doing something, but I'm not doing nothing, so I'm gonna leave him alone. That in itself is a sense of protection. You see what I'm saying? You can guard yourself by something that simple. And that's what I did. See, I use these mental strategies all the time. And the only thing I do on these videos, I just elaborate on the techniques that I use. This is what this whole channel is about. Organic Portal University, the left side of the brain channel. Every video I do is basically a guide for people with souls on how to maneuver through this organic portal realm that we live in. That's what this whole channel is about. So everything I speak about is based upon day-to-day living in this secret war that we are fighting. And if you don't implement these strategies, you will go insane. I'm trying to tell you. So this channel is just giving you a way to look at things and a way to deal with situations. Because if you don't deal with it like this, they're going to defeat you because there's so many of them. And if you weak inside of your mind, you will succumb. I'm telling you. That's how people end up in the nut house. That's how people end up on medications, because they give in and they don't know how to deal with everything that's coming at them. You see, especially if you're not a part of the system, you're really going to have it bad. Especially when you got knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and when your eyes are open. See, you're going to be feeling stuff from people that's not even based upon Oh, this man, he's not good enough to do the job. Oh, you're not getting such and such amount of productivity done within an hour. Your problem is not even related to that. When the managers and the people come messing with you, it don't even have nothing to do with your job performance. It has to do with the fact that you have a soul and you are ultimately a threat to them. You see, because they know that once you wake up and this is why they don't want us to wake up. This is why you are a threat. I'm about to say it right now. And I've never said it before. The reason why they fear us waking up and just leaving them, because when we finally leave this system, this entire world will burn up. Literally. They will dissipate. Their computer bodies, their computer brains will break down. They will have mental breakdowns. Because once we stop allowing them to feed upon us, they have no purpose. What do we say on this channel? Parasites need something to feed from. Let's just say if we totally disconnected from the system. The leaders, the world leaders and everybody, their purpose now is being a world leader. But if we went against their system, their money system, all of the social norms that they place upon us, all of these different, rules of ethics that they created for us that don't even make sense, but we have to do it or else we can't survive within their world because they control everything. If we ever rose up and just left, this whole thing would break down and they would fall down with it. They would be in agony and they would be in pain, literally. So this is why they mess with you, because ultimately the devil, the force that's behind them, he knows his fate. He knows that he's going to be cast into eternal damnation. So he's mad at you because you're not going into eternal damnation. So he's trying to do everything that he can while he's still breathing to get at you. Because ultimately he knows that he is already defeated. And ultimately he knows that you were the cause of his demise. And their whole purpose is just trying to take us down with them. And this is another thing. They survive off of us. And the more we wake up, the less power pellets do they have to sustain. Let me reword that. The more we wake up, the less power pellets they have left to sustain themselves. They living off of us. We provide them the energy. So that's why when one of us, we wake up, you subscribe to this left side of the brain channel, they get upset. They start attacking you. And one thing that the enemy will do, he will attack you in your weak areas. In areas where you are weak, that is where they will send arrows at you to test you in certain areas. That's why when I'm making these videos, somebody will come out of nowhere and just try to disrupt the communication, the flow of energy. They'll try to come in and get in between it. You see? And see, the thing about me, I'm aware of what's taking place. And as long as you are aware of what's taking place, you're pretty much in what I like to call the escape zone, because you're aware of what's taking place. So you're in the escape zone because, you know, you're basically free. You're basically already free, but your body is still here. And you know what? I was about to give a that's what my live stream was about. That's what my live stream was going to be about yesterday. The title of it was My Astral Projection Experience. I'm not going to give it away now. I'm going to wait till my live stream is back up and operating. And when my computer is, back up and operating. Because I don't want to cheat nobody and do a live stream without having, the listener having the ability to call in to the hotline, you see. Because I promised that, and I like to deliver on my promises. I'm like the pizza man. I like to deliver on the things that I say, you see. Because I know a lot of people was looking forward to that. But getting back on this discussion, man. Everything out here is a mind game. Everybody that you speak to, see, everybody you talk to that's not on this, you think you're communicating with them, but you're not. You just playing a mind game with them. Especially when you realize who you are. It's almost like a person that's, you know how they say, living in the closet. You know what? I'm going to title this video, Living in the Closet. That's what I'm going to title the video. Because now it's making sense. It's coming together. It's unfolding. Like, when you communicating with one of these people, and you already know inside yourself that you're not like them, and they are not like you, what you think you're doing? You living in the closet. You living in the closet. Because you already know that if you reveal your true self, it's going to be consequences. So that's why it equates to being one big mind game. Now you get it? That's why it equates to being one big mind game. Living in the closet. When are y'all going to come out of the closet? You see, I've come out of the closet. Don't twist these words. I'm not talking about no homosexuality, but I have come out of the closet in the sense of I live for myself and not for others. I would never fully uncloset myself in this world because the stakes are too high. And at this moment, there is really no where for us to go, the United Souls. So the only place we can escape to is when we come together and in our mind. And how we do that is by living the principles that we teach on this channel. You have to move in this. You have to breathe in this. You have to sleep in this. You have to wake up in this. You have to eat and everything in this. You have to bathe in this. Because you're not one of them. You're not one of them. You know what I'm saying? Is that a drone? Is that a drone camera? Is that a drone?
Yeah.
A camera?
It's a camera, yeah.
That's a camera? Oh, okay. What he don't know, that's a synchronicity. That's a synchronicity. Here we are talking about cameras. I told you, I knew a synchronicity was gonna pop up. I knew it was going to pop up because we was mentioning cameras and everything. See, an unlearned, unadept person, and it's cool too to be in the video. Look at it. It's cool. A person that's not in a depth, that would have went over your head. Those who've been following the channel, you would have known that that's a synchronicity. You see, that's a synchronicity right there. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to live by these principles. It's our protection. It's our hedge. You see, this is what keeps me out of a lot of trouble. When you don't follow the principles on this channel, you may end up in a physical prison because you're going to do something because they're going to drive you insane. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to go postal so they can really have, see, it's a contract in this thing. We are born under a contract. That's why when women give birth, what do they call it? She is having contractions. We are under contract. And here are some of the rules in this universe. The truth cannot be hidden from anyone. It can only be put into fine print. And they can try to mask it, but they can never eliminate it. And here's another rule. They can't just grab you and just take you because you have a will. But what they can do, they can manipulate upon your emotions. So once they do that, they can make you go over the edge. And then you will do something that conflicts with one of the laws that they have. And you'll do something, and that will give them all the ammunition they need to put you in jail and to put you in prison. So that's why I say I don't hang out in crowds of people, because you're bound to get in trouble. Oil and water don't mix. If you are a united soul anyway, you don't have no business being amongst the enemy. You don't have no business hanging out at the venues that they hang out. Even me being at this mall right now is a risk in a way. See what I'm saying? Whenever you step out your house, it's a risk. So we have to face it. But it's certain situations that you can put yourself in. Like if you go to a nightclub, you already know that's totally controlled by them. So at that moment,